So this book also explains how every one of us that have a legitimate home-based business have a right to over 100 and gosh knows how many tax breaks. And you don't have this right if you don't have a home-based business. So it's a very important thing for us to understand. Okay? The next, let me tell you another book. Now, I told some folks in Louisville the other night that if you read this Overcoming Time Poverty, How to Achieve More by Working Less, it will help you. Did you read that book? Speak louder, honey. What did you think about that little book?
I loved it.
She loved it. She told me, she said, Dr. Ross, that is wonderful. And she said, I read this thing in a hurry, and it's going to help me be successful. I love that. So we've got this book, and by the way, we have that. And if all of y'all would like to, you're welcome to have a copy of that before you leave. I'm not selling all these other books. We were in the kitchen a while ago getting ready for this, and we were having a discussion, and a couple of the girls said something a little bit, not bad, but a little bit negative about what we were doing. And so at that point, I said, guys, hey, we got to do the main thing and keep the main thing, and not worry about anything else. Because I read this book. You can't afford the luxury of a negative thought. And you really can't. Okay? So we don't have negative thoughts where I come from. And because of that, we are going to be this wonderful wolf pack. And this is the wisdom of the wolves. I thought this author, I didn't know he's dead. I didn't know where he was. Mark Grant, who will talk to us after a while and explain to us how this is going to work and help all of us be so much better. He found him. He found Dr. Twyman Towery. And this morning, we talked to him. What a deal. What a man. He's going to be with us in Nashville, Tennessee, just in the next time we're down there. And the wisdom of the wolves, and y'all have heard me say this before, I really believe that the wolf society is the best mammalian society that's ever been. They know more about teamwork. They are better at having patience than we are. They absolutely don't deal with failure like human beings do. They don't know about failure. You realize that this is the best hunting machine that's ever happened in the history of the world. They've been here over 1 million years. People have tried to kill them. They shouldn't, because the wolf has never one time in the history harmed a human being in the wild unprovoked. It's never happened. You can't find that. If you're lost in the wild, you better hope a bunch of these guys surround you. Don't pet their babies. Don't take their food. Otherwise, they'll take care of you. Okay, and this is wonderful. When we came out of that balloon ride Sunday morning, we got out and we petted a New Mexican gray wolf. She was beautiful. And what an animal. These wolves, how many times do you think, if they're such a good hunting machine, how many times do you think they fail when they go out to kill so they can survive? How many times? 90% they fail. You say, well, they're not so good. Well, yeah, they're the best hunting machines ever been. But they fail 90% of the time. What if a bunch of us had to go kill something in order for us to survive? And Scott, we come back and we fail 9 out of 10 times. We do. How many more times are we going to go out? Because we're all here beating each other up. Jim, if he'd run faster, he could have done better. We're beating him up. And, we're telling him, you didn't even try. You were back there behind the tree. I saw you, And so here we are beating each other up and everything. We're not going to kill nothing, and we're going to die. Not the wolves. They have no concept of failure like we do. They regroup, they communicate, and then they go back and do it again, not necessarily knowing they're going to fail again 90% of the time, because they do every time, but they know if they will consistently do what they do, they will sooner or later win. And that's what they do. So that's why I want us to be a wolf pack. I want us to treat each other like the wolves treat each other. It's very important to us to do this. And in our training and our work together, we have created the drjwolfpack.com. We're a member of that. And tonight, before you all leave, I want every one of you to sign up and be part of this. It doesn't cost anything. We've done this for your success, our success together. And Mark Grant, we'll talk to after a while. He's from New York. He's a talk show host up there. He's got a tremendous business, and this is what he does. And we're going to explain to you all in a moment how we do that. Now, I was here one night 6 months ago. Where'd he go? There he is. I was here one night 6 months ago, and my dear friend, fraternity brother from Louisville, Kentucky, called me that morning of Monday, and he said, J. Russell, I hear you're doing something with a card. What's this about? And I said, oh, Troy. I said, yeah, I'm giving this card away. It's free. And I said, they pay us money for having done that. He said, well, tell me about it. I said, I can't. Got to show you. He said, well, when can you show me? I said, well, every Monday night I have this meeting in my office every Monday. He said, I'll come down tonight. Can I bring my mom? I said, who's your mom? Peggy Brooks, 72 years old out of Litchfield, Kentucky. I said, bring her. So here they show up. We had a meeting, big house full like this. Afterwards, they came up, they joined. And that night, it was late. We had to go home. He had to go to Louisville. And he said, tell me what to do now. I said, well, let's talk about that. No, tell me now. Urgency. He said, tell me now what you want me to do. Peggy and I and Carolyn Knuckles sat down in the back there, and I outlined for them what I thought they should do. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. And I gave it to him, and Troy and his mom and Carolyn did this as well as anybody has ever done it. They did it. And so because of that, Troy Brooks, in less than 6 months after he joined with this provision, has become our 7th, wherever it is, he's become our 7th vice president in this company. And that happened last week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an outstanding act of work. He is a vice president of a human resource company. He's an attorney. He's a busy boy. But he understood that he had plenty of time to do this. And I've asked Troy to come up tonight and just share with it, because urgency is so important. You've got to start. You've got to get in there and start paddling. Okay? You need to look like that little duck on the water. I mean, cool on the top, then little feet just going on the bottom. You've got to look like that if you're going to succeed here